The city of Tokyo is packed with Pokémon centers, but which one is the best? Well, today we're heading inside Tokyo's ultimate Pokémon paradise, from exclusive merchandise like this, to life-size plushes like this guy right here, to surprises you won't find anywhere else. And if you're a trainer, a collector, or just a fan of Pokémon, you do not want to miss this. Let's find the best Pokémon center in Tokyo. Now, as of this recording, Tokyo has 5 Pokémon centers. And if you expand that radius even further to within an hour of travel time from Tokyo Station, there are 8 great Pokémon centers you could visit. Now, obviously visiting all 8 would be repetitive and highly time consuming. And although this sounds like a blast living in a Pokémon world, there is so much to do in Japan that you might want to limit yourself to just a few Pokémon centers. So, which Pokémon center should you visit of the 8? Well, in this video, we rank the top 8 Pokémon centers in Tokyo to visit. And we give some context as to what makes each one of them special and provide you with the Pokémon center I personally recommend you visit on your next trip to Japan. The rankings in this video are based off of these 7 categories: Pokémon merch, the size of the Pokémon Center, availability of exclusive merchandise, the decorations within the centers, number of activities you can complete inside, options of plushies to purchase, and finally the distance from Tokyo Station. We will also include all the data points in the top right of the video so you can keep track of the ranking and distance as well. With all that being said, let's get on to the least recommended Pokémon Center that I would suggest you go visit. But I must add, it's very much improved from the previous years because it's been renovated and it looks amazing. So the number 8 store to visit is the Pokémon store in Narita Airport. First, the pros. It is well decorated. It has some amazing statues. You have the trio and Pikachu in the front on suitcases going on an adventure. You have the Gen 1 starters out front as well, beckoning you to come inside. And you have a nice card machine, coin machine, a Pokédex that you can actually utilize, and a vending machine that you can get some exclusive plushies just in case the store is closed. If you go to the back of the store, you can see the flight attendant and pilot Pikachu representing the Narita Airport. You also have a nice display in the middle of the shop to showcase all the exclusive merchandise, which includes 3 different types of Pikachus, all donning the NRT badge on their suits, plus other bag tags and items that can only be found here. Decorations here are some of the best because they show you a bit about the location since it's in an airport. They have a lot of murals on the wall that are great for taking photos. The exclusive plushies here are a nice bonus and they currently have a large supply, so you definitely will be able to grab one this year. As it is in Narita Airport, which is technically in Chiba Prefecture, it does happen to be the Pokémon Center that is the furthest away from Tokyo, but it needs to be recommended as a place to visit if you happen to have your flight land in Narita, because if that is the case, definitely add it to your itinerary. It's right in Terminal 1 and it's not that difficult to find if you have a flight leaving Narita Airport or if you're landing at the airport. But if you aren't landing here and you happen to land in Haneda or any other airport in Japan, this might be one Pokemon store that I would pass on because you can find more variety in other shops at the expense of less travel time. So let's move on to the number 7th Pokemon Center, which will be the Skytree shop with 49 points as well. Now first, with the positives. The location is great for combining a trip to the Skytree with a little Pokemon Center shopping spree. There's a Kirby Cafe nearby as well, and that size isn't that bad of the shop. There are plenty of monthly merchandise and plushies all throughout the store, and quite awesome decorations with the shiny Rayquaza and normal Rayquaza, which are great for photos. Lots of hidden Pokemon statues throughout the store, including this nice touch across the top of the ceiling. And of course, they do sell Pokemon cards here, which is always a positive. This location is a great store, a great location to buy Pokemon merchandise, great spot to take some photos even, but it's missing that little Pokemon spark that makes a Pokemon Center, a Pokemon Center. There just isn't anything spectacular with the activities present here. The amount of plushies isn't overabundant, and every time I go, the exclusive Pikachu is not being sold. Although they do have one at this shop, it's never available. To me, this shop needs to be a bit larger to have something interactive like the upcoming Pokemon centers on this list to be a location that you must go to. So definitely a spot to stop by if you're in the Skytree area, and only an itinerary addition if you're a Rayquaza fan and you want to get that insane photo op with the dragon itself. Now moving on, coming in at a close 6th place on this list happens to be the Pokemon Center that isn't actually in Tokyo, but it's close enough to be very easy to get to by train. And that is the Pokémon Center in Yokohama with 51 points. And I honestly thought it would rank higher on the list, but let me show you why. First, the positives. It's a pretty large Pokémon Center with awesome decorations and a huge Pokémon vibe in the city, as you can find Pikachu Pokelids nearby. It's also right next to the arcade that seems to cater to the Pokémon community, and a great variety of plushes exist here. Unfortunately, it is becoming one of the older Pokemon centers as there's nothing interactive in this Pokemon Center. No large Pokédex in the wall, no interactive TV, nothing. There are areas to play Pokemon TCG, and it's spacious enough to walk around, but it lacks a bit of exclusiveness that a Pokemon Center has now. It's 2025. It's time to have exclusives, like exclusive plushies that used to exist before, but they no longer are sold in this shop. So that's sort of unfortunate. I used to rank it much higher a few years ago, but with all the renewals of all the old shop, Yokohama has quickly fallen off. Definitely come here if you want to find some Pikachu Pokelids and enjoy the city where Pikachu is celebrated, but maybe not the most highly recommended Pokemon Center anymore. Now the 5th Pokemon Center might be a surprise to you because it happens to have something that all the stores on this list don't have at all, but that might be its only saving grace. With 53 points, Pokemon Center Shibuya takes the 5th spot. And honestly, this shop is pretty mid in the merchandise selection. They have a decent array of plushies, you have exclusives that yet again are not sold in the shop anymore, but they do exist if you look online. It's in Shibuya, which is a tourist heaven, so you got that going on. And it's nearby the Nintendo store, so you'll definitely drop by. But temper your expectation. I wouldn't call this the location to find that rare plush of that one-off Pokemon that you have been dreaming of, but it does have a decent selection of the starters and mainstream favorites that you can definitely grab. Although the size feels a bit cramped for my liking, it does have this huge Mewtwo in the front, and that is absolutely awesome to be the mascot here. It's super sick. But before I rain on your Shibuya parade, remember how I said Pokemon centers are more than just a store? Well, here comes your first original activity. See, at this shop, you can design your own Pokemon t-shirt. On these large touchscreens, you can essentially create a shirt to however you please, and then a few hours later, they'll make it for you and voila, new t-shirt. It's because of this only being at this location that I would say if you wanted a personal t-shirt with your favorite Pokemon and name, come to Shibuya. This is the only location to create a t-shirt. But if you want to get exclusive merchandise, maybe go to this next location. Because number 4 on the list is the Pokemon Center in Tokyo Station. Previously ranked as one of the worst locations to go, this has now become a great location with 58 total points. You can see it decorated with some awesome statues of train-bound Pokemon. The merch here is fairly updated, and the size is almost triple what it used to be. They even have many exclusive plushies here, including this Tokyo Station Pikachu that can only be bought here. The best thing about this spot is the location. It's literally inside the Tokyo Station, so it's the perfect spot to jump in and grab that last minute gift right before you have to head to the airport. They also have a small interactive screen, and the line sometimes gets long, but for a quick exclusive Pikachu, it's not a bad shop to visit. But if you wanted more than just exclusive Pokemon, then maybe you might need to go to the Pokemon Center in the number 3 spot, because this is more than just a Pokemon Center. It's a Pokemon City, and that would be the Mega Tokyo Pokemon Center. Of course, there is a Pokemon Center here. It's huge, but also there is a TCG shop, a cafe, a Pokemon Go area, decorations all throughout the mall, and so many Pokemon statues that you probably won't be able to take a selfie with all of them, even if you tried. Essentially, it's like living in a Pokemon world. It's pretty crazy, the vibes here, and it doesn't hurt that this location has a huge spacious store with plenty of monthly merch, plus so many plush options and card options. So for you Pokemon card fans, this is a great spot. Unfortunately, the downside here is there's no exclusive Pikachu plush located in this shop. Although they had a Pikachu in a Charizard poncho released many years ago, that and also there's no real special interactive wall, which I like interactive walls. I think they're really cool. They make for a different experience. So It's sort of unfortunate that this shop doesn't have something like that. But even without these things, you still have the Pokemon City and this cafe, which has some special treats, and they change every so often, so you definitely have something to go and take a cool Instagram photo with. Now the location is a bit out of the way from tourist spots, although Ikebukuro still has a lot of awesome shopping to be had. So I wouldn't count this spot out if you wanted to indulge in some special treats and explore this Pokemon Center. But to me, it doesn't compare to the next two, which we're gonna do a special side-by-side comparison because they are literally that awesome. The top two Pokemon centers to visit in the Tokyo area are the Tokyo DX located nearby the Tokyo Station, which I'm sure you've heard of this one. It's pretty famous for being the plush haven in all of Tokyo. And the other location happens to be Tokyo Bay Pokemon Center, which you might not have heard of this one, but trust me, you're gonna wanna see this. Let's go through the categories for each. First, the merch. Both shops get a 10 out of 10 for merch. They have monthly merch in abundance. They have fan favorites, old merch, always in stock, and it's well organized. I literally can't recommend one over the other. They really have it all. Size of both shops is very well organized and spaced out. Tokyo Bay gets a 10. Tokyo DX, a 9. Tokyo Bay is just a larger store due to the fact it's located in a mall, but the Tokyo DX has ample space as well. It has its own area for plushies, you can walk and see the wall of history, and it's honestly not badly spaced out. But if we're comparing the two, it's a bit more cramped than Tokyo Bay, so because of that, I have to give it a 9. Tokyo Bay the 10. But if we move on to exclusive plushies and merch, both get a 10 again, because Tokyo Bay has an exclusive Pikachu, exclusive Ampharos and Morel, some pins, stickers, booklets, a whole wall of exclusive merch. And Tokyo DX, even though it's been open for quite some time, has original Pikachus that you can only grab in that shop. So if you want to get these special Pikachus, you really have to choose the specific Pokemon Center and go to it. At this point, if you could only choose to go to one, I would just say take a look at these exclusives and pick your favorite. But honestly, both are amazing. Now, the decorations category, they both excel at it. Tokyo Bay gets a 10 because of its awesome surfing Pikachu. Hands down, I love this guy. Huge, stands outside, and it really reminds me of ocean vibes. They also have this new signage with a talking Pikachu and Ampharos and Morel that you can stand by and take a photo, and nothing can beat that. I mean, Tokyo DX has great decorations as well. It gets a 9 for its Snorlax Mew combo in the entrance, which is a staple. The history wall as well is awesome. And then they have the starters in the elevator wall and outside. It's a very nice touch, which can't be beat, to be honest. Now, if you're going to move on to the activities category, Tokyo Bay only gets an 8 because there's a few interactive items here. There's the Pikachu that can talk to you and a few screens here and there. But Tokyo DX gets a 9 because it has the Pokédex. And the Pokédex on the wall is really awesome to play around with, see your favorite Pokemon. Really feels like you're in a new age era where you get to see all the Pokemon. It feels like you're in a Pokemon world. And in addition to the wall, there's also the Pokemon Cafe right next door, which although it's tough to get a reservation, it's still definitely something you have to try if you're in Tokyo. So it's like a 2 for 1. Go to the Pokemon Center, go to the Pokemon Cafe. Pretty awesome activity, honestly. With this close of a competition, we're really down to the last two categories, which is plushies and distance. So which Pokemon Center is going to take it all? Well, if you're going to discuss plushies, remember Tokyo DX is the plush haven, and rightfully so. It has its own exclusive plush room, it's well decorated with fit plushies from every generation. I think if there was a Pokemon Center that you had to go in order to find plushies, this is it. So it's a 10 for sure, no doubt. And yet, so is the Tokyo Bay. The options and variety of plushies mixed with the sheer space of newness of the shop leave for a wide variety of fit plushie options that you don't see everywhere, including many huge plushies directly in the center of the shop. So Tokyo Bay also gets a 10. Both spots I would say is the perfect place for Pokemon plushies, which leaves us with one final category which will determine our number one Pokemon Center in Tokyo, and that is distance from Tokyo. So with 67 points and your go-to Pokemon store to visit in Tokyo, it's none other than Tokyo DX. That's right, it gains a full 10 points as it's located in the heart of Tokyo. Tokyo DX is a simple walk or train ride to visit, making it one of the best options hands down. Unfortunately, with all the good of Tokyo Bay, it is super far from Tokyo, about an hour train ride towards Disneyland. and that alone is tough for people to accept. So I had to give it a 6. It's still one of my favorite Pokemon centers, and I highly recommend if you have the time, but it is a bit of a trek, so it ends up with 64 total points. Overall, both of these spots are locations you can get a lot of insane photos, tons of merch exclusives, and just have the Pokemon fun that you really wanted to do when you visited Japan. Next time you're planning to go to a Pokemon Center in Tokyo, pencil in Tokyo DX as your spot to go. And if you have some time on the side, go to Tokyo Bay as well. You won't regret it at all. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If it helped you out in any way, please like this video and comment down below which one was your favorite. And don't forget to subscribe and check out the members only Pokemon Center benefits that could net you one of these exclusive Pikachus. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.